Hello and welcome everybody. How's everybody doing this fine Wednesday? It's time for Tinkering with Tech. This one's exciting to me because I'm learning a lot and I'm thinking about doing some things. So this is pretty awesome. I can't wait. This is going to be fun. Heather, good to see you. How are you?
I'm good. I know you don't want to talk to me. That's fine.
That's not true. No. Anyway, no, this is great. I'm so glad because I met this gentleman, Kyle Selesky. I probably got it wrong. I don't know.
He gave you thumbs up. Yay, you did it.
But I met him a long time ago, probably in 2015, I want to say, for that Product Expert Summit that we went to. And ever since I've been, oh my gosh, we've been communicating and doing all kinds of stuff for some fun stuff there. Oh, good. I see some familiar faces out there, Heather, huh?
Yeah, we got Dave and Zara's out there, and Lon. I haven't seen Lon in a while. That's awesome.
Lon in forever. So that's awesome. Great. Good to see some folks and some regulars and some irregulars.
Yay, you did it.
But I met him. There you go. Oh,
sorry about that.
That's okay. No problem. But anyway, so back to Kyle. Kyle is going to talk to us today about Google Voice. He is a product expert in photos, and he's also, I think, in Hangouts just because of me. No, I'm just kidding. We can talk about that. And Heather said to me that we had to go live quickly because I've already asked 25 questions in the green room.
Yeah, they already had the show, you guys. I'm going to try really hard to get them to repeat the show for you live. That would be great.
Hey, Kyle.
How's it going, everybody? Hopefully you can hear me loud and clear.
You sound good.
Coming in from Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
I know, that's so awesome.
I love it. You know, that makes me very happy. Packers fan.
Yes, go Packers. Sadly, we had a tough loss last week. I was at the game up in Green Bay.
You were at the game?
Yeah.
You're not allowed to attend any more this year.
Yeah, I know. My wife has told me that. She said we have bad luck, and we'll be watching it from the couch for the rest of the season.
That's right. I'm with her.
Yeah.
Mark's here.
Yeah.
I love it. Anyway,
I like this. Lon says he never said he was regular, so
you know, some things we just don't need to know. No, I'm just kidding. No, good stuff. You said you saw Mark or whatever?
Yeah, Mark Barris is out there too. So thank you for joining us on Twitch. We love it. And if you're on Facebook, give us a shout because we need proof.
That's right.
Yeah. And he can hear you loud and clear. All right. Thanks, Andrew. Very cool. All right. So are you ready to talk about the show or?
Yeah, let's talk about Google Voice. Talk about what it is. Let's talk about what it is.
All right. Yeah. For those who don't know, Google Voice is an online, pretty much phone forwarding service, so to say. It's definitely more than that. But what it does is that you get a phone number that's tied to your Google account. And then that phone number, when you call it, can ring a multiple endpoints. So when you call that phone number that you get from Google, you can have it ring your computer, it can ring your tablet, it can ring your cell phone, it can ring your home phone, your work desk phone, wherever you are. So instead of somebody calling your house phone, realizing you're not home, hanging up, calling your mobile phone, realizing you missed that, then calling your desk phone, here they just call one number and all your phones ring all at the same time and you pick up wherever you are. So it's a really cool service. It's been around for quite a few years. They just kind of revamped it in the last year or so, gave it a facelift, redesigned the website, the mobile app, everything. You can also do texting from it. It is US only based. So that's one thing for anybody watching outside of the US. In order to sign up for Google Voice, you need to have a US phone number to start because it has to forward to either a cell phone number or a home phone to get it kicked off. But then after that, you don't need to tie it to a phone number after that if you don't want to. If you just want to use it on the web, you can from then on out. But if you're over in Portugal or Brazil or France, you sadly can't just sign up for it. There's some hoops you can jump through unofficially to get something working, but for the most part, it is
Hopefully,
US.
if I'm over there, I don't want to be talking on my phone anyway. So
Yeah, yeah, but it is really nice because I
no, I know.
have because I have a cell phone and I'm not always at my work desk. And if I'm running around at home, so when I had it set up, well, I still do have it set up, but when someone calls my Google Voice number, it will ring my cell phone number, which is just a random number that I don't give out to people. It also rings my desk phone, and it also rings my home phone. And then you can even set up different rules that if it's past 5 o'clock, Monday through Friday, it won't ring my desk phone here at work. Or if it's the weekend, don't ring my desk phone because I'm not working on the weekends, and I only want it to ring on my cell phone or not my home phone.
Wow.
Or maybe if it's my um, a work partner or something like that where I don't want phone calls at home, I can say, hey, this person only ring my desk phone. Don't have them actually ring my home phone.
Oh, you can do it
Um,
per number? I
yeah,
didn't realize you could do that too.
yeah, you can.
Mark
No.
Mark has a question. I'm going to interrupt you here and give
Yeah.
you this question from Mark. If I want to change my area code, is that complicated?
So if you want to change your current Google Voice number, that's one thing. Or if you're just trying to spin up a number, that's another. So let's say you have a Google Voice number. It's 414 area code and a bunch of digits, and I want something new. You do have to pay $20 to get a new Google Voice number. That's just so that people don't just create a new number, sign up for some stuff or do some spam stuff and then kill it and get a new number every 2 seconds. They want to make sure that you're committed. So that's why they do that $20 charge. And then you can pick a new number. Now, Google has a big pool of cell phone numbers that you get to choose from, and you can search by area code. You can search by just string of numbers. My buddy had his last four digits spell out Luke. So he looked for the whatever that is, 5853. So he looked for 5853, and he found a number that ended in 5853 because it spelled out Luke at the end of his name,
Hold
at
on.
the end of his number.
Luke's number. Let me get Luke's number.
Yeah. So you can do that, and if you're signing up for Google Voice the first time, you're able just to search for free for that first number, and you can just keep on searching for different numbers and different area codes. Like in Milwaukee, 414 area code, when I signed up 10 years ago, there were tons of 414 numbers. Now Google's out of Milwaukee area codes, so I cannot find a Milwaukee area code anymore from Google. There's no more 414s. The surrounding area codes are 262, just outside the Milwaukee area. There's tons of those 262 numbers, but yeah, all of the 414s are eaten up. I assume like in Chicago, 312 area code is very hard to come by. Like people hold on to it like a status symbol. So I don't even think Google even had any 312s. But if you find a 312 number, yeah, definitely hold on to that, because that means like you're from like the heart of Chicago and have one of those numbers. But yeah,
It's a Midwest thing, big time.
yeah. But you can change your number if you ever need to for $20. You can also port your cell phone number in for $20. So if you've had a phone number with Sprint or with AT&T, you've had that on your cell phone for 10 years, and you know what? You're like, I'd love to move to Google Voice. I want the features, but I want to keep my number. So for $20, you pay Google, you walk through the process, they port your number from AT&T or T-Mobile or Verizon, wherever it's from. They will move it over to Google. They will terminate your contract with Verizon or AT&T. So you will have to pay any termination fees if you're still in contract or something. But if you're out of contract, they will just cancel that, and then your number will move over. And then normally you want cell phone service if you're a normal human being. So you will just need to get a new number on your cell phone. So then you'll just get a random number from AT&T or Verizon or whatever assigned to your cell phone. You don't need to give that number out to anyone. But when you go to Google Voice, you say, hey, here's my cell phone number, so that when people call your Google Voice number, the one that's been your your carrier number for 10 years, they call your Google Voice number, it'll ring that random cell phone number and you'll still
Wow.
get the phone call.
I have a quick question on that. So somebody like me who uses a lot of gigabytes of data and all that kind of stuff on my phone package and stuff like that. Basically, you're just buying that.
You
package?
are no
Is that-
from
no.
Google. Oh yes, from the carrier. You're
Yeah.
just buying, like, you're getting a random number and you're just getting the minutes and the data. It's
Right.
just
The data and the-
service.
yeah. it's
Google
just-
Voice just handles the routing of the phone number. So
Exactly.
Google Voice doesn't give you data on your phone.
Just
It
wanna make sure
doesn't
that
give
I'm clear
you
there.
minutes. It doesn't give you anything like
Yeah.
that. You still need service. It's pretty much
Get all that.
like I brought this up in the green room, where think of your Google Voice number as like your email address. It's tied to you. You have control of it. It is yours. When people email you, you get that email. Now, if you change your internet provider at home from AT&T to Spectrum or to Charter, it doesn't matter because you still have that email address where you're getting email, but you still need internet service. You can't cancel
Right.
your internet.
Right.
You can't just cancel your internet service. And I'm getting a call right here. Go away. So you have to get service somewhere. So if I want email at home, I need to pay an internet service. But so you just pay for that phone service, and then you will get service on your phone. You'll get calls, you'll get data, but then you install the Google Voice app, and that tells Google, hey, this is my phone number. Make sure to ring this phone when my carrier number, when my Google Voice number is called to ring my carrier number.
All right, here's a question about unlisted. Can I make the number unlisted? I'm getting spam calls on mine. And this is a great question because I get them almost daily, if not hourly, on mine. So
yeah, what's really nice about Google is it's using the power of Google and their knowledge. So you can actually go into your settings in Google Voice and say, hey, block spam calls. It gets a lot of them. It's not foolproof, just like their spam filter in Gmail. Yeah, it pretty much grabs a lot of them, but you'll still get some filter through. So I get a fraction of what like my friends get for spam calls, because Google is smart enough to get that. Sadly, the spam calls that I do get is to my random T-Mobile number that I have to have service. It didn't come through my Google number. It just rang directly to my phone. So none of my other phones rang because Google grabbed it as spam, but it'll go right to my carrier number because that's just out there from the carriers.
You can call. I know you said earlier that it's not outside the United States, but I could call Spain, right?
Correct.
Yeah,
So
I know Zara, I think, put a comment up there.
I was just going to say that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is on. Sorry.
You can call anywhere, right?
Yes,
You can call.
that is a very good point. So you are able to call anywhere in the U.S. And Canada for free. So I can make any call, any long distance call. I can call Washington, Alabama, Quebec, wherever you want. That is free of charge. But you can call outside the U.S. for very, very cheap. So just pennies on the dollar. They actually have a little help site that you can go to, and you can see which country you want to call, and whether it's a landline, it's usually a penny or two a minute, and then like mobile lines are a couple cents more a minute if you want to call like a cell phone in Italy or something versus a landline in Italy. So there's a lot of people that use Google Voice just for that, where you have to add money to your account. So it is a prepay thing. You can't just like rack up a bunch of charges and Google expects you to pay later. No, you just need to add like $10 to your account. I think I added $10 10 years ago and I still have money left on my account. That's how much I call internationally. But my sister lives over in Portugal. So I was able to call her landline phone for a penny a minute. It was great.
Wow.
And so it definitely saves money there a lot. I had another friend who his wife, her family was from Canada, and they had a crazy bill every month on their home phone because they would be calling Canada. I set them up with Google Voice, and they made all their calls to Canada for free. It was awesome.
Fantastic.
Yeah, Zara's totally on page with this. Super low rates for international calling. I use it to call my daughter in England. Very awesome. She also said spam blocking is awesome. I think we have a fan out there. What do you guys think?
Yeah. So that being said, so my phone calls and stuff like that. So my text messaging, does that apply through that as well, or is that
So it is a little different, like on Android versus iOS and stuff. So with this Google Voice number, you can make calls, but then you can also do texting. So you can do texting via the web page, or you can do texting via the Google Voice app. It doesn't actually integrate with your native text messaging app on your phone. The dialer will integrate on Android. So if I just open up my normal phone dialer on Android and dial a number, it will call out with my Google Voice number, even though that's not the one that I have from T-Mobile.
Right.
But if I just use my texting app, my default texting app for the phone, it sends it as my random T-Mobile number. And if I'm forgetful, someone's like, who is this? Because they don't recognize the number. Then I got to go into the Google Voice app, start a new message, then text somebody, and then have that sent out through the app. So it does take some getting used to. And also, it's kind of a pain sometimes when you are in certain apps that just want to send a text message to somebody, and it opens up your default texting app with that message, like, oh, share this via text. You click it, it opens up your default texting message app, which isn't your phone number, and then I need to cancel out of that and then copy it over to Google Voice. So there's some things that you need to get used to, but all in all, I think the pros outweigh the cons, and I've also been doing it for 10 years, so that's why I'm also very, very used to it. You can tie it into Google Hangouts, the classic chat. So I have that set up right now. So in my Google Hangouts chat, I have all my Google chat messages with other people with Google accounts, but then I also have all of my SMS messages from Google Voice. So it's nice to have
so
it
funny.
all.
That's
all
exactly what Zara was saying right at that moment.
Yeah. So I really love that, but Hangouts Classic is being retired, and it is being upgraded to the new Hangouts chat. That was supposed to happen for businesses this month and then be migrated to consumers shortly after. That's been pushed off to June of 2020. So that got announced publicly last month. So now businesses will be upgraded after June of 2020. And then shortly after that, consumers will be upgraded from the classic Hangouts chat to the new Hangouts chat, which does not have a Google Voice tie-in yet. Don't know if it's happening. I'm not going to hold my breath.
Maybe that's why it hasn't been. It wasn't on schedule.
Maybe they push it back because they didn't build in the Google Voice integration yet. That's what I'm hoping for. We can hope. We can hope.
Right.
Interesting. That's
all right. Lon has a statement. He's a big fan for many years, but I don't use all the features you're presenting today. So thank you for sharing them. So one of the things that I love about Google Voice that I use for my business is being able to put on Do Not Disturb, and it just goes straight to voicemail. And then my email will go off if someone leaves a voicemail. So I use it for business. I don't any spam calls that come through, I'm really not bothered by, and I don't have to deal with much of that kind of stuff. But if I got an email saying that so-and-so left a message, and then I can read the message right there, because it does translate that message for us, it does translate it so that it's actually verbiage in my email. I love that because I already know somebody's called, and then I don't ever have to actually hear the voice message or any of those things. I love that stuff. So just sharing how I like it.
Oh, it's awesome. I think it's great. Let's show off some of this stuff. You ready to show some stuff?
Yeah, let me do this quick.
You tell me when you're ready and I'll be ready.
Yeah, I am ready here.
There we go.
If you go into voice.google.com, it'll look like something like this if you don't have an account. So smart voice calling on all of your devices. They did just launch it for business users. That is a per line per month charge. So if you have G Suite for your business, it is $20 a line a month. But it gives you all of these features, and it gives your admins access to control all of the lines and assign numbers and do things like that. But for personal use, it is free of charge. You just need to tack on some extra cost if you want to dial internationally, and an extra one-time charge of $20 if you want to move your number over. So as I say, it's a smarter phone number, works on smartphones or the web, keeps you connected. You have visual voicemail. It's really nice. You can have different phones ring at different times. It does grab a bunch of spam messages. So if we would log in here, this is what it looks like. Hopefully you can see this all right. On the left-hand side, you have a little bar here with calls, messages, voicemails, anything that you've archived, and then spam messages. Legacy Google Voice takes you back to the old interface. This is the new rebranded, refreshed interface that they just launched in the last year. You'll have your Google Voice number up here in the top corner. I just generated this one about, I don't know,
Yeah.
20 minutes ago.
About 20 minutes. Yeah, something like that.
And then it does link to your contacts. So if I wanted to make a call, I can enter a name or number. So I can just start typing Michael Daniels. This is not his number. He actually stole Jenny's number from Tommy Two-Tone. But I can just click on his name. It will start calling him. Now I need to allow or block access to my microphone. So I'm going to hit allow. It's going to call. I'm going to hang up because I don't know what that number actually goes to.
I was just going to say, because there is somebody out there who has that number and you just prank called them. But.
Yep. But here, I'm just going to enter, please don't prank call me, but let's call this number. So then you have options here that you can mute yourself. You can put somebody on hold, or you can open up the keypad if you're dialing an automated system like press 1 for English, etc.
Yeah.
And
then you can hang up when you're done.
Can you
now,
screen? Just curious. Can you screen a call? Like, you know how Google Assistant now allows you to do
it kind of screens the call. Not really. You can have a prompt set up. So if I go into settings here and go down to calls, I can do, where is it here? Not always screen calls. So this is a little different, where screen calls can be turned on or off, and turning it on, you'll get an automated system, a voice from Google that says, please state your name. And then when you do that, anybody who calls, it'll say, please state your name. They have to say Michael Daniels. And then on my end, it says a new call is coming in from Michael Daniels. Press 1 to accept or press 2 to decline.
Okay,
so you get somewhat of a screening purpose. So at least if it's totally spam, you won't even be bothered with it, really. But if it's somebody that's trying to get a hold of you, but sometimes that does scare people off because that's not normal for a regular person to have on their cell phone or whatever. But we can kind of walk through the settings here. So
I have a question from Mark, if you don't mind.
No.
Is it possible to change your caller ID to the name of your company so that when you call out, somebody will know that Healthy Life Systems is calling, or some Healthy Life Center is calling, or something like that?
That's a very good question. I know it's come up before. There's something with if you change the Google account number, that will be listed somewhere. So On Android, sometimes it's smart enough to realize that if you have this number listed in like online, in white pages, yellow pages, etc.
Right.
I know Android picks it up, but I don't know. I don't know if you have to go through like Google My Business or something and have it
Mm.
in there to get it registered. Normally, like the basic caller ID function is handled like through the phone company. So that's a very good question. I don't have an official answer on that one.
Okay.
Interesting. I almost want to call myself and see what it does. All right, go ahead.
Yeah. But yeah, so you got calls here, you got a dial pad, pretty simple, and you can just use your headset and mic to make calls. Very similar on Android and iOS. Messages, um, you can just do text messages right from here. So I can hit send a new message. It will look at your Google contact list, or you can just type in a random number, 867. Well, that's Michael's number. And then I can just type a new message, type whatever I want. And then I can also do a group message if I want. I could add recipients. So I could just do another number, 312-555-2323. And then you can just add as many recipients as you want, just like an email. And then you can just send out a group message and it'll be a text from your Google Voice number.
Oh, cool.
Can you send an image?
Yes. So you can hit little add image. Since this is my test account, I can do that, but I can hit upload images. I could find something like this picture of a dog in a kayak. Oh, it's actually an animated GIF.
Okay, Kyle, I have a question about verification, if I can just ask that while you're doing this. When you go to do this, you have to send like they call another number to verify this account that you're there.
You have to have a live US number.
So it could be a landline or a cell phone number, right? That they're going to use, but you don't have to have a cell phone number. So if somebody who didn't have a cell phone number could actually use this, and this kind of be like their cell phone on their computer, right?
Correct.
And I'm just saying that for someone I know out in the audience who does not have a mobile phone number and is.
You said they had to have a account.
Only if they needed to have it on their cell phone. That's what I was talking about.
They do not need to use a cell phone in this at all. This number that I just generated is not tied to a cell phone. It's tied to a desk phone. It's tied to a landline. And I'm just using it on my computer, but I just had to verify it with my landline. Now, when you first do the verification process, it defaults to, can we send you a verification text? Obviously, you're not going to get a text on your landline. There's a small little line underneath that says, click here to do voice verification. So you click that and it calls your phone. You actually witnessed it in the green room earlier. I answered my phone. I did the little 6-digit verification number, and then I was able to verify on the landline. And then it's great because then you can give out this number. You can have people text you, because if you don't have a cell phone, it's not easy for you to get text messages. You can text other people. You can receive texts. You can just all your calls and everything right on your computer. It's really handy.
Yeah, that's it. So Andrew knows I was talking about him. So Andrew, the reason why I brought this up is because there's some 2-step verifications that are required on a lot of things now that are kind of keeping him from being able to do certain things. And I had like an epiphany while you were talking that he could actually use this in place of, because he's always on his computer as long as he has something to tie it to, right? Just a landline or what have you.
Has to be tied to something, right? Isn't that what you said?
Yes, it needs to at least initially be verified and tied to an account. So,
but
thanks, Dan. Smash the like button. Thank you.
Yeah, not a mobile account necessarily, though, right?
Nope. It just needs
so he doesn't have to go
service.
to Verizon. He doesn't have to go to T-Mobile.
Correct.
Okay.
That's why it was so exciting to hear to make those connections. That's why I had to bring that up. So I'm sorry you were starting to go through the walkthrough, and I had to stop you from that.
Oh,
So go ahead and head back to it.
no problem. 1 second here.
Poor Kyle, he's getting bombarded
Yeah,
at
I
work,
know.
and how dare we interrupt work?
I know. All right, let me send.
You're fine. Take your
All right,
time.
that's fine. I'm going to bring this message up from Andrew here that says, my problem is the landline is my sister's name and she doesn't want it associated with her number. Okay, but this would be, I don't think your
This would just
name
be
is,
for verification. Nobody
it's
else will know that
it's
landline.
just to send a number that you enter in. That's all it does. It sends a
Correct.
number.
And
You hear
then
the number, you type the
you
number, and
don't
then from then
want,
on, you don't use it.
yep, if you don't want that tied to it anymore, I can come in and
Oh,
find this linked number, like this linked number that was tied to my sister or whatever. So here's my free Google Voice number, but here's the number it's linked to. I can just remove that. Boom,
boom.
remove. Now it's only on the web. I'm only using this on the web, and no phones will ring when you call this number. Only my web will ring.
Yep. And you don't even have to have it do that. You can actually mute it. You can do not disturb. There's a whole bunch of different things you can do.
And when
so that
there's
you don't actually get phone calls. But go ahead. Sorry, Michael.
and when there's a verify, I mean, like a new update or something like that where you have to verify again, you just go through the process again and just delete it again.
Yes. So like I said, I had some calls in here. Yes, May 2015.
Yeah.
So I did have a number on Google Voice tied with a landline. And then this was 3 years ago. If you don't use your number in a year, Google asks for it back. So they will warn you. They give you 30 days and then 15 days, and they say, hey, please go make a call or a text message. Otherwise, we're going to take this number back. I didn't do that. I didn't care about it. So they took my number back. But now I just reactivated it, got a new number, tied it to a new landline, and then, but I still have my call history and everything in here from before. So yeah, you can always just reactivate it whenever you want.
All right.
So Lon is asking a question, but the only part of it has come through. So let me just say this. For voicemail, you used to be able to call in and change the outgoing message from any phone. They changed that last year. This is not on screen, but they changed that last year so that you have to call in from the registered phone or change it from the browser interface, I think. Has that changed again recently?
No, I believe that is the same. You need to call in from that registered phone. And if you don't have that, you just need to go into settings on the web. Because obviously you can't just change it from any phone number because, well, I guess they could put a password or something on there, but they just do it on recognition. So you would just go under settings, you'd go under voicemail, and I would just record a new greeting.
Yeah, and that's the way I've been doing it. I record everything I do is recorded on the computer. I do everything through mine on the computer like that right there, and I change it regularly.
So earlier in the green room, I think you mentioned that you cannot do a Google Voice to a landline. I thought that's what you had told me. I don't know if that's right or not.
Oh yes, porting a number.
Right. So if I have a business number right now that we've used forever, but I'd like to port that over to a voice number, you're saying that I cannot do that. I would have to get a new voice number.
So
that to port those
these are the hoops that I had to jump through. My parents have had their home landline phone for the last 35 years. And they are tied to that number. That's been their number forever. Everyone has that number. But AT&T was charging them $60 a month for a home landline number, and that was insane. So I said, hey, we should move this over to Google Voice. It will be free 99, and it's going to be awesome. So we couldn't port it to Google Voice. It says, hey, we can't port a landline. So we ported it to T-Mobile. T-Mobile has like pay as you go. You can do $3 minimum a month, and then you pay like 30 cents a call. Well, we weren't going to be making any calls. We were literally just going to move it over for a day, move it over to T-Mobile. and then move it from T-Mobile to Google Voice for $20. So sadly, the lowest amount of money you can put on a T-Mobile prepaid card is $10. So even though I only needed $3, I had to put $10 on my T-Mobile prepaid card, move the number over for free, but it just was a $3 a month like burner number. I didn't even need a cell phone or anything. I think I ended up using one of my phones. Um, People are apparently things are blowing up. Talk amongst yourselves for one quick second. I gotta see what this is.
You're fine. Go
No
ahead.
problem.
There, we can talk. We can chat. So.
All right, so that's fine. That's fine because Mark was asking this question and I answered it. So we'll just talk about that. If I send someone a text message from Google Voice, can I tell if it's been seen? And my response was, no, Mark. I sent messages to my son in the green room while we were in the green room, and I had no idea that he saw it until he responded. So
sorry about that. The one answer,
That's okay.
the one number I pick up because I don't know it. It's a wrong number, and I ignore all the other people that are trying to call me, and the same person's trying to call me back. I don't understand people. Anyways, no, this is just a basic text message. So no, you don't get the read receipts. You don't actually get read receipts on any text messages. Hate to break people's bubbles, but people are like, oh no, if I send my son a text, I do see when they saw it or not. Not on a text message. You probably saw an iMessage where you saw that they saw it, or a Facebook message, or a WhatsApp message, or something where you saw that they saw it, or a Hangout message, but you do not see when other people see an SMS text message. If it's a green bubble on your iPhone, you do not see if people saw it or not. If it's a blue bubble, that's an iMessage, and you could see if they've seen it. So this hasn't gone, Google Voice hasn't been upgraded to RCS messaging, which is the new form of SMS where you can see typing indicators and you can see read receipts and stuff like that. It's not there yet. It'll probably get there down the line, but it's not there yet.
Okay.
Also, what was I talking about right before I got sidetracked?
Didn't mean to do that.
Oh yeah, porting the number. So I ported it over to T-Mobile. We moved it over to a T-Mobile account for a day. And then I went on to Google, paid $20, moved it from T-Mobile to Google Voice, and then my parents' landline got moved over, and now they don't pay a dime, and they just
you dropped T-Mobile. You just dropped that,
and then I just canceled T-Mobile right away because it was only a $3 per month pay as you go thing.
$10.
Yeah, $10, quote unquote $10. So all in all, we paid $30. But the savings, they were paying $720 a year for a home phone. Now they pay $0.
Wow, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, well, we did buy them an OB200 device. Polycom bought OB High right now. So it's a little device that you plug your regular home phone into that will give you your Google Voice number at home. That costs $29. So one-time buy. So $30 for that, $30 for porting numbers, $60 all in one time, and they save $720 a year.
Nice. So Debbie Davis has a question. Love Debbie being out there. Does your Google phone number expire if you don't use it? And you've got an answer for that.
It does. I brought it up a little while ago. If you don't use it after a while, Google will reclaim that number. They do warn you. They send you emails saying, hey, we see you haven't used your Google Voice number in 12 months. We'd like to get it back. Please send a message from it or make a call with it within 30 days. Otherwise, we'll take it back. They'll send you another email like 2 weeks out. They'll send another email like 3 days out saying, hey, if you don't respond, we will take your number back. So you will lose that number. If you don't, just go in and just call Pizza Hut, do something. Just log in, make a phone call with it, and then it's in use, and then you're good for another year. If you really want that number. Mine expired, so I just had to go in, pick a new number. I got a new random number, and then I just carry on my way. But yeah, they do expire if you don't use them.
All right. Well, we
Wow.
don't want to keep. We could go on forever on this. So, touch a couple things real quick because we want to bring our community in. We do it after.
Yeah.
So we want to bring our community in to talk to you a little bit in person. So, in order to leave time for that, maybe if you want to touch maybe one or two more points, and then we'll go right into that with the community. Is that cool?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what else to kind of cover
One of the
here.
things, well, I'll tell you one thing that would be good is you went to settings.
Yeah.
What was in settings?
So yeah,
Just
I can
briefly,
kind of page
briefly.
through this here quick, just really quick. So you
Yeah.
got your number. If you wanted to transfer out, let's say I ported my Verizon number in. I'm using Google Voice. It's great, but you know what? I'm not getting used to it. I just want my old school thing back. You can transfer your number out. So it does it takes you to the legacy Google Voice, but the old interface. But yeah, you can transfer your number out for another $20 one-time fee. So if you want to say, hey, I'm on Google Voice, but I really can't get used to it, I want to put it back on Verizon, $20, you can put it back. You can delete your number, and then also, like I mentioned before, you can change your number to something else for a $20 fee. Your devices, you can see where it's all signed in on. Right now, I'm just signed in on the web. But if I had the Android app listed or I had it linked to my desk phone or something, it would be listed here. Let's say I get a new desk phone assigned at work. I can delete my number, which I just did, but now I could just add a new linked number, type in the number, and this is where, just like the phone verification at the start, it will send you a text message, but you could say, you know what, I'm on a desk phone, please verify by phone. And now you type it in, it will call you with a 6-digit code, and then you verify your number. Also, you can have messages forward to your email. So let's say you are that person that doesn't have a
That's
cell
what Heather
phone.
was talking about, right? Heather
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
do. That's what I do with my
Yep.
business phone.
So if you have it set up for a business or something like that, you can forward messages to your email so that you get those prompts. And the cool thing is, if you get a text message, it'll forward your email. If you just respond to that text message via email, it just sends them a text back of just the body of your
That's awesome.
message.
Yeah,
So
really cool.
I also recommend that if you do get this, don't write a novel because it's going to come through as like 20 text messages. Just remember that you are texting someone from your computer and try to keep it short and sweet. Outgoing calls. So you could say anonymous caller ID, where it does hide your ID and it just shows up as anonymous caller. That does scare some people. You're probably not going to get a lot of answers, but if you really want to hide your number, you could do that. Incoming calls, you can see which ones you want to ring. So, hey, if I don't want my computer to ring, I turn this off and my computer won't ring, but maybe my cell phone will ring. Because if I have my speakers turned on all the time in my office, maybe I don't want those blasting a ringer every single time somebody calls my cell phone. Call forwarding, I don't have any link numbers to forward any of those. Get email alerts for missed calls. This is a little different than just the messages. So this was texting. This is getting a missed call alert. So let's say you have it set up only going to one phone that maybe you don't monitor that often. Here you want to get an email for when you get those missed calls. The screen calling is what I talked about earlier, where it just asks the person for their name, and then the computer presents you with that name. Incoming call options. So this is nice. It doesn't work on outgoing calls, but incoming calls, if I turn this on, if I'm answer the phone and it's some random person or somebody saying that there's somebody and I'm not sure if I believe them or whatever, I can press 4 and it'll start recording the conversation. It does announce to all people on the phone that this call is being recorded. But then when you're done, you get an email with the call recording attached to it as an attachment, and you can just listen to it. So sometimes I'll get a call and it's going to be some spam caller and they're like, we need to record this for quality purposes. I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to record you for quality purposes, and then click hang up. So that's pretty cool. Or
if anything, it's entertainment value for sure.
yes, exactly. I've had some friends accidentally dial me, bar close, 3 in the morning. I'm like, I'm sleeping. Oh, Kyle, blah, blah, blah. And I just hit 4, and they're like, what was that? Because they'll hear like something like this call is being recorded. I'm like, oh, I don't know. And then I get their ramblings at 3 in the morning, and then I send it to them the next day. So that's always fun.
3 a.m. the next morning.
Yes.
Oh,
I get right
oh
back
yeah,
at you.
well, I'm calling you. Oh yeah, well, I'm recording you. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Back and forth. All right.
So you also have an option to hit star, and it'll switch your phone. So let's say I pick up on my cell phone, and then I sit down at my work office. I want to move from my cell phone to my desk phone. So I can hit star and all my phones ring again, and then I can just pick up my desk phone and then hang up my cell phone. Now, this doesn't work. You can see here, not available if any device allows Wi-Fi or internet calling. So if you prefer Wi-Fi calling or internet calling on your phone, this won't work. I don't know why. I really hope they fix it, because even if I'm making a call over Wi-Fi and not my carrier, I would still love to hit 4 to record the call. But currently that doesn't work.
All right, we're gonna wrap up.
Yeah. We gotta go.
We need to. I don't want to hold you up all day. That's the thing. I mean, you can probably sit there and go through every one of this. I mean, it's awesome. And maybe I can have you on again. Maybe we can cover the second half.
Yeah,
well,
definitely.
and we do like offering to our members, our community members. They pay to be members, and that this is the biggest perk that they get, is that they get to come in and hang out with our experts afterwards. And Kyle, you've been a great Google Voice expert. We really appreciate you being here. So
yes, absolutely.
I don't want to hog him to myself. I want to share with the community. So.
Exactly. Oh my gosh. So community members, you guys know the link. Go to our website, click the link, and you can come in. I already have the Zoom meeting set up to go over there in case we have a whole bunch of people, because this only limits us in here to go to a certain number of people. Kyle, I will provide you with that link so you can go over there. So before you leave here, just click that and go over there, that kind of thing and all that kind of stuff. Thank you so much for being an amazing guest. I mean, I always learn so much stuff from you anyway, whenever we're sitting there chatting.
Yeah.
At the summit.
Glad I could be here.
Yeah.
You present very well, Kyle. I mean, like, is this your job? Like, you must do this for a living, like just normally presenting.
I do a lot of
Teaching,
customer facing teaching. I handle all the technology for all of our executives, board members, everything like that.
I believe it.
Just
I'm not at all shocked to hear that.
Yeah, a lot of explaining technology, and just helping people with technology fix their problems through technology every day. So
awesome.
and I love doing it. So it's a fun time.
That's great. All right. Awesome. Well, thanks everybody for joining us live. I appreciate it.
Absolutely fantastic. Thank you again, Kyle. We really do appreciate it. I'm going to send the outro, and I'll get you the link so you can come into the Zoom and talk to our community. Thank you again, folks. Hope the show was wonderful to you guys as it was for us. I know Heather and I got a lot out of this. So, and Kyle, again, thank you so much. We really do appreciate you, and look forward to seeing you in November, I think, right? Huh?
I have sad news that I cannot attend.
Bummer. Oh no. Well,
yeah, it falls the same week as a big work event that I have to be in Chicago for. And we just had a meeting about it today, and I was trying to weasel my way out of it. So we'll see if I can attend, but right now it's like 90% no.
Understood. Yeah. Well, I'll just have to come up for a Green Bay game. We'll have to.
Yes, do that, please.
Please. All right. Thanks, folks. We'll talk to you soon, and we'll see you guys in the. See you guys.